Imagine this scene, you are an astronaut sent in a spaceship to go to the moon. However, when you are close to it...
What the hell is that? Houston, are you getting this?
And as if that ugly face wasn't enough, it starts to fall towards the Earth. We are off to a good start. Created by Mr. Friend, The Moon Awoke is a series of animated videos where for some reason all the planets around the Earth want to eat your ass. Today we will see the 4 episodes released to date, so without further ado, welcome to the day The Moon Awoke. As we have seen before, the first episode opens from the crew's perspective. Their goal is simply to land on the moon and they are very close to achieving it. However, at this moment they must have told a really good joke because look, now the moon is smiling. And not satisfied with this horrifying vision, she starts cosplaying as a Beyblade spinning quickly to gain momentum. At this moment we also hear the astronauts cancel the mission, whose code name was Apollo 11. For my non-astronauts, Apollo 11 was NASA's first manned space mission carried out in 1969. Therefore, we already know that this is the first time that humans have come so close to the moon. Continuing, we see this very terrifying vision of the moon passing next to the spacecraft, while at the same time everything starts to go wrong. Apparently inspired by the moon, the astronaut also begins imitating a Beyblade until he finally manages to stop. At this moment, an upbeat song is heard in the background, completely contrasting the destruction that we would see soon after. Now, if the moon giving the Earth a little hug wasn't enough for you, our unlucky astronaut decides to look back. Unfortunately, our beloved moon wasn't the only one that laughed at the joke. Okay, so this first episode makes it quite clear that whatever the origins of these things, they are definitely not just planets. I just hope the astronaut brought plenty of Mountain Dew because he's going to be there for a while. In the second episode, we're no longer in space, instead seeing the view of some random citizen. In the left corner, we see the date June 20th of 1969, which yes is the exact date on which the Apollo 11 mission was carried out. Approaching the masked man, who funnily enough is based on the creator of this series, we hear him talk about conspiracy theories, in particular something about the great old ones have awoken. Of course, considering his smiling mask, the cosmic horrors he's referring to can only be the planets we saw. And since they are crazy people for everything, some of them start to applaud the smiley guy, as if the moon getting a cod kill streak on us was a good thing. Regardless, the video cuts and now we are in the view of another man in the United Kingdom. He is seen calling his family to go out, however his son does not seem to hear him. Becoming impatient, he gets closer and here we see several drawings which closely resemble the giggling planets from the previous video. In addition, the only nearby TV is emitting static with some strange speeches. Now listen, I don't know about you, but I in this situation would definitely kick the child. Sadly, my British pal here still tries to talk once again.
Michael, I have to tell you one more time.
I told you to kick the child. For some reason, the kid's face looks just like those planets, possibly indicating that we are seeing some kind of global infection. This theme of global is reinforced in the next scene, showing a tribe praising the smiling face. And speaking of it, we finally see the chaos that was on Earth with several newspapers and programs talking about the subject. Because at this point, the moon is already visible in our atmosphere. Going to Italy, a man is seen enjoying this tasty orange juice on a secluded beach. However, the moon was also thirsty, but he didn't know how to ask for a sip in the best way. After the collision, we jump 5 years into the future, seeing what's left of civilization. Through subtitles, we discover that this quote, lunar impact, resulted in the death of 90% of the world's population. And while the narrator asks if there are more threats roaming through space, we can see Jupiter in the background. But wait, the video isn't over yet. Walking through the ruins of the city, 2 scientists / investigators / whatever these guys are seem to be exploring the wreckage. Believe it or not, they find the drawings made by that child earlier. Most of them depict the planets we have already seen, but the last one draws the most attention. We can see what appears to be an enormous donut and a rocket right below heading straight for it. I theorize that this strange donut is the cataclysm of all this, and the rocket right below it could be a representation of how to defeat it. Why the devilish child would draw a picture of how to get rid of the devil, I don't know. In any case, the second episode makes it very clear how screwed we are. 90% of the civilization is gone and the other 10 are almost there. Our third video opens with none other than Neil Armstrong, the first man to set foot on the moon. Here he is not the first and much less the only one. The narration reveals that it has been 10 years since the lunar impact and humanity has been trying to reconstruct itself again. However, there is constant fear of the other planets which are now closer to Earth. At least they are only observing for now, but who knows for how long. Our only hope is the newest quote, friendly industry, an initiative of the remaining global governments to try to rebuild the world. But while the world is not rebuilt, millions of people continue to fight for basic resources such as food and water. We see this quite explicitly when this unnamed survivor uses the head of a human skeleton to hunt a mouse, and he stuffs it in his stomach as if it were a Burger King Whopper. Not only is the only source of protein mice, the rest of the planets continue to orbit around us. Now, this does not mean that they are not doing anything, because currently the Earth is trapped in the so-called quote three-body problem. Sadly, I am not the Apple guy to explain physics, but basically from what I can gather, we are gravitationally trapped like birds in a cage. Continuing, we are introduced to the Oris probe, a satellite made especially to capture images of space. Two of these are sent, one to Jupiter and the other to Saturn. The plan here is to get as close as possible to the smiling planets to see if we can discover anything. That is when suddenly Jupiter starts opening his mouth.
Wait a minute. Abort deployment. Zoom in. Picking up a subtle gravity spike. What the hell? Is that a moon? One of Jupiter's moons looks like Callisto is emerging from Jupiter's mouth. Gravity spike interrupting communication signals from the solar.
The signal from Oris 7 is lost and it won't be long before Oris 12 suffers the same fate. These small planets are actually the moons of the respective planets. Callisto, for example, is Jupiter's second largest moon. Anyway, all expeditions with Oris were failures. All humanity can do now is pray that the situation doesn't get worse. And then we see the situation getting worse. You remember that little boy with his weird ass face, right? Well, he isn't the only one.
Hey, you there? You there? What the hell is that? Stay back. Stay the fuck back. I'm warning ya. You look at the corner.
After this glorious beast deadly attack, we cut to someone with no name about to enter the moon's fall zone. However... Well, my friends, in addition to the mutant humans, we now also have 6-foot aliens. At this point, the biggest question remains: what is the true motive of the planets? Because if they wanted to, they could do the same as the moon and just wipe out humanity once and for all. At the moment, the only thing I can theorize about is that they are too busy arguing on Reddit. Anyway, we have reached the 4th and final episode of this series so far. This video opens by recapping the lunar impact, only to discover that it is an advertisement advertisement for the company friend. Because of this, unlike the previous one, this fourth installation has a much more humorous tone. It makes fun of this corporation which is seeking profit and growth while everyone is literally dying. In one of these scenes, we also see some very ethically questionable actions, reinforcing the theme of quote, big corporations equal bad even more. Fortunately, it doesn't last long and we cut to a view of one of Friend's divisions called quote, Umbra Corps. This scene is very important because in addition to the futuristic weapons, the character we are following has a robotic arm, revealing that even with all this tragedy happening, humanity is still advancing technology. Shortly after, one of the soldiers talks about trying to steal the so-called quote moon juice. You may or may not have seen it, but at certain points in past episodes we see this pink liquid. Judging by the line said here, this substance is extremely valuable, especially since few actually have the right to extract it. Well, the time has come for the mission and all the soldiers get ready, when out of nowhere...
Stay on my 6.
The mutant again returns, ferocious as ever, and one of the soldiers in an attempt to hit the creature kills his commander.
Don't shoot!
Even so, our protagonist decides to investigate and almost immediately that diabolical frog again jumps on him. This incredible display of strength even lifts the team's spirits, but it won't do much good. And just as we're about to become a snack for this skinny alien, something very unexpected happens. Talking serious, this last scene is really good and well animated. We see Jupiter being pulled by a hand to who knows where and the episode ends. Overall, the change in tone here is quite noticeable. Except of course the last scene, episode 4 definitely has a strong sense of humor. I don't think it was bad, but I have a lot of questions about this big hand. Is this another creature? But if so, why is it helping us? Or maybe it has other plans for Jupiter and it will return in the future. It also raises the question of whether with Jupiter out of the picture, those mutations will stop, or will nothing change because Saturn and Pluto are still there? Well, I don't have a clue. Well, at least I hope that with this humanity can rebuild itself just enough to make orange juice again. Anyway, my little Bingos lovers, I hope you enjoyed the video, subscribe to my channel and the creator, and remember, if any of your relatives starts drawing smiling planets and looks at you like that, give them the good old knuckle sandwich.